Another midfielder, Sergio Roberto. We added another contract to Sergio Roberto, a deal that I was against. I mean, I don't understand why Laporta and his team added another year for Sergio Roberto. People will argue that he's a versatile player, but he's not a Barca player. I mean, Sergio Roberto. Whenever I see him in lineup, I get traumatized. The Bayern Munich match. I mean, the Juventus match that we are losing in the Champions League, the Liverpool match. I mean, this is Roma. Sergio Roberto, it's time for him to pack the bags and go. He has done little things good for us, but I mean, it's enough. We need to get another exposure. He has played here for the longest time ever. I mean, Sergio Roberto we should write off Sergio Roberto and sign in Ilkay Gundogan. Now, the experience in the Premier League and the UEFA Champions League makes him suitable for our midfield. He makes proper duels and retrieves lost balls so quickly. His football understanding makes him a beast at the center of the park by controlling the tempo much better than Sergio Busquets. Captain Bussi, I mean, I'm not saying it's the end of Sergio Busquets and we should sell Sergio Busquets. I understand that there's a contract offer for Sergio Busquets to renew for another maybe 1 or 2 years, but that doesn't mean that we want him out or don't want him in. I mean, I'm okay with Busquets saying he's a good captain, a good player, but for at least to get that rest and maybe to maintain his play on the top class, we need the resting figure for him because of his age, of course, and we need that. Ilkay Gundogan fits more than any other player ever in this footballing world. Number 2, Barca's philosophy is a key in Gundogan's pursuit. I mean, Pep Jose Guardiola copied every La Masia philosophy and pasted it at Manchester City. And Gundogan has really fitted in the philosophy. I mean, not every player we know, especially midfielders, fits our philosophy of tiki-taka. I mean, the traditional Barca way. And Gundogan fits absolutely. And he's much more quicker than most of our players. Let me compare him with Sergi Busquets. I'll compare Busquets with the reason well known to me, and of course you, who is a Blaugrana fan. So I am not going to compare Gundogan with Pedri, Gavi, or Frankie de Jong. These players can play up in the interior. Now I'm considering to bring Gundogan this team. I understand the versatility that he has as a player, but I want him to come back to come here. He has never been here. To come here because of Sergi Busquets. I mean, this guy is getting tired, and we need that figure. He has that figure. I mean, Gundogan fits absolutely, and he has much more quicker legs than Busquets. This makes him more attractive for Barcelona, considering that this guy is going to be free. For free. He hasn't signed any pre-agreement contract with Manchester City. This guy is going to be free. His market value as a player is around 50 to 60 million euros. But we're going to get him for free. And Manchester City doesn't have the power to say, if you want a Gundogan, bring maybe 80 million, 90 million, of which that deserves this player is a beast. I mean, we need this guy. When we talk about Gundogan, I just see versatility in the midfield. Ilkay Gundogan can play both as a CDM, central defensive midfielder, and as an interior with Barca's traditional 4-3-3. Gundogan fits in every 3 positions at the midfield. Hence, our depth is covered. I would like to have 6 midfielders in Barcelona next season. That is Sergi Busquets, Pedri, of course. Captain Sergi Busquets should stay. I personally say this guy. At first, I never wanted Busquets to stay, but Busquets should stay. Captain Busquets, Pedri, Gavi, Frankie de Jong, Frank Kessié, and Ilkay Gundogan. Now, there's some name that I haven't mentioned, and I feel for this guy, Pablo Torre. He was signed last summer, and he was tapped to be the next Pedri. Unfortunately, he has never worked for him. Not that he's a bad player or maybe he's not good. No, it's because he hasn't get the minutes that maybe we expected as fans, not him, but we expected to see Pablo Torre on many occasions. But we can understand on Xavi's side and the pressure that this guy is receiving, Xavi, the pressure that Xavi is having. It's hard to play Pablo Torre and of course it's hard if you are a young midfielder breaking into the team. It's hard to get minutes in a senior Barcelona team because of reasons well known to us, all of us. I mean, so for Pablo Torre, I won't want him to go, and I won't like him to go to Barca Athletic, to that junior team, because he's much better than most of the midfielders there or any other player there, and that will make Pablo Torre not to continue learning. So for him to continue learning, we at least loan him to one club in La Liga, strictly La Liga. We don't want him to go far. We want at least one club in La Liga, and not all the clubs. Maybe Valencia, he can learn, he can do very well. Celta Vigo or Osasuna, or maybe Sevilla. That's a place where he can fight for some minutes and get minutes, and that's the only place he can learn. And maybe some other teams, maybe Real Betis, of which I doubt, or Real Sociedad. It's hard to get positions there. But if possible, he should go to these teams. But not Athletic Club Bilbao or Atletico Madrid or Cadiz. These are teams that they defend more than attacking. I mean, their strategy of winning is awful. It's very hard for Pablo Torre to learn in that team. And of course, don't go to Real Madrid. You're not going to get minutes there. And of course, if you're real culé, real blaugrana like Pablo Torre, you're gonna want, you won't like to be involved with Madridistas or the Merengues or the Whites. I don't know their name, the Real Madrids. So, going back to Gundogan, I mean, Pablo Torres will be loaned out to Valencia, Celta Vigo, Osasuna, Sevilla, Real Betis, or Real Sociedad, or any other club for him to get the minutes. I mean, the minutes at senior level. Don't take him back to Barca Athletic. I want him to continue learning. Pablo Torres is a beast. These guys, and the next, maybe Kevin De Bruyne, or any other, or Andreas Iniesta. Pablo Torre will keep a watch on this guy. So, going back to Ilkay Gundogan, if Xavi Hernandez insists in the current four midfielders that he has been using, Gundogan can cover in every position, most especially in the most interior. And he has also played this at Manchester City and even in Germany national club. You see, the many reasons why we want Gundogan: versatility. I mean, when it comes to versatility and depth, this guy can cover. We have suffered a lot because of injuries, blah, 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 cards, the red cards, the yellow cards. I mean, because of this, I mean, we need Ilkay Gundogan more than any other player in this market. So if I were Joan Laporta or Matteo Alemany, I should be working, and I know this has already begun, because City wanted Gundogan to stay, and right now, up to this point, there are no any agreement. There are no even signs of Gundogan staying at Manchester. But it's been heavily linked to Barca, and Xavi is insisting day in, day out. And I'm sure there have been conversations between Xavi and Gundogan, and this makes me understand why this deal is almost here we go. This guy is at City, and he hasn't added any contract agreement with Manchester City. I mean, no any other club is going big for him. No any other club has been linked with Gundogan apart from Barcelona, and this coming from Xavi Hernandez himself, request to Juan Laporta. This guy is going to be cheap and economic-wise good for Barcelona, for free, and of course will demand low salary for his. I am sure he would like to play for Barcelona. Every player, I mean, it's a dream for every player at least. Every player wants at least in his footballing career to play for either two big teams. I mean, that is Barcelona and of course Real Madrid. And Gundogan is much attracted to Xavi's project, FC Barcelona. So, another thing that Gundogan is good at is that Gundogan will add creativity and penetration. He is good in quick dribbling and can penetrate in tight spaces and make short and decisive passes in between the defenders. Something that most of our midfielders have limited the skill. I mean, not that we don't have, but the skill is limited. Maybe Pedri and Gavi and Frankie, but they still don't have that enough power, prowess and courage and experience to do that, especially in big matches like the way we saw we had a problem at Old Trafford with United of penetrating into into that. We were depending a lot on the wingers. Balde was doing a good work, but the midfielders, we lacked Pedri due to injury. Gavi was on a, now we only had Kessie and Frankie and Busquets. Busquets getting tired every match, in big matches, not performing. Kessie was trying to do his best, but there was no that link between Kessie and the attacking. I mean, it was awful at Old Trafford. In matches like Atletico Madrid, the last time we played them, we beat them by only one good goal to nil, and it was only goal played by penetration and solo run from Pedrinho, Gonzalez. I mean, we can make that penetration once in 90 minutes. That's the problem with the current Barcelona we are having. We can make maybe one penetration in 90 minutes and maybe we can score. And that's why they call us the king of 1-0, the kings of 1-0. Maybe right now our form is not that good as we had started this season. And now the issue is, if we score this one goal, one penetration, and we score this one goal, and maybe another team like Atletico Madrid come back and score, I mean, that's a big problem for us. Thanks to our defense and Ter Stegen, they have saved us in a lot of matches. So this is something that we should address, and we are lacking. And Gundogan can bring this on the pitch. This guy has done a lot for City, and I have been watching him day in, day out, every match days. And Gundogan is a beast. I mean, we should